Hello and thanks for clicking on this video. For the next couple of minutes I'd like to talk about performance measurement inside organisations and particularly about PUMP. And PUMP is a performance measurement process, a complete system developed by Stacey Barr. But over the last 25 years I've worked in large financial services groups and in consulting roles across 50 different types of organisations. And one of the things that's apparent is that we really don't do performance measurement well at all in most organisations. We might collect data, we might do a whole bunch of stuff with numbers and reports that are filled, but in terms of truly measuring performance and getting focus on our goals, we don't really do it. The other thing is that most organisations are really seeking a culture these days that's about continuous improvement. That is, the work that we do, we figure out how we're trying to do it, we understand what works, and we continually improve it. We want to be a high performance organisation. That means people say it's okay to fail, and that is we are learning about what we're trying to achieve and what works best. And we become a learning organisation. And these are all typical buzzwords around creating a culture that is engaged and empowered to learn and to use performance measurement, for example, to really improve their performance over time, to the betterment of their customers and the whole organisation, and for their own engagement. The way most organisations use performance measures and use data and use performance reports does not achieve that. It actually goes against the grain towards those goals. So what I use is PUMP, and it's a deliberate process. It's not an event. It is a process around how we put in place a systematic approach to measuring performance in the organisation. And there's 8 steps to PUMP. It's developed by Stacey Barr. I'm a PUMP partner for Australasia. I'm licensed to use a methodology, and I've been working with PUMP for the last 10 years. Teaching in the workshops, consulting, coaching in PUMP. Absolutely love it. Quick overview of the 8 steps. First one is that most organisations use measures to judge people's performance. So the first step of PUMP is to make sure that the whole organisation knows that we're not here to judge people with measures, we are here to use measures for a tool. No longer a rod for our back, but as a tool to become a learning organisation. The second step of PUMP is about how we translate our strategy into a set of results that are measurable. Often we'll go and use actions. We're going to do this project, that initiative, this thing, we're going to do all this stuff. That becomes our strategy. Well, to what goal? When we come to measure those activities, all we do is we count the number of things that we've done the project, we've delivered it, we've done all those things, rather than progress towards the goal itself. Step 3 of PUMP is about using a measure design process, a deliberate method and technique around how, once we've figured out what our results are we're trying to achieve, then we design measures for those results, because those measures need to be objective evidence that give us feedback about how we're progressing towards those results. The 4th step of PUMP is about how we engage with people within the organisation. Once we've figured out our results and our measures at that level, what we do is we go and share that information and we engage with people. People don't buy in, not because you didn't listen to them, but because you never consulted, you never engaged with them. So we use a deliberate team-based approach across all of PUMP, and particularly in step 4. In step 5 of PUMP, we take the chosen measures that we have, and what we do is we define them. We figure out where the data is going to come from, how we're going to present the information, and the formula, the calculation for the measure itself. So everyone is clear that that measure means that. Step 7 is about using particularly XMR charts or run charts around making sure that when we put the information into reports and dashboards, that there is a very clear interpretation of that data. Because what we want to have when we come to reporting it in step 7 is about how we focus our conversations on using measures, on what performance is doing and why it's doing that and how we can improve it, rather than, as I've spent my time many times in meetings, sitting and looking at reports and arguing about the measure itself, where the data came from, what does it truly mean, different interpretations. We want a single interpretation so that we can know what to do about it, what's happening with performance, why it happened, and what we're going to do now, if anything. And step 8 then is about how we use performance measures to achieve our goals. And there's like a loop that goes back around to step one. The whole process of pump, because performance measurement is not just a one-off event that happens at planning time. It is an ongoing process because it's actually about the people in the organisation. And that's one of the reasons why I work with Pump. I believe in a customer-centric approach to business, and one of the key principles about a customer-centric approach to business is that we recognise that the business itself exists for customers, but secondly, it's actually all about people. If you take people out of the organisation, we are left with a mass of dumb systems and processes and protocols that nobody can bring to life. It's the people in the organisation that bring those things to life. It's the people in the organisation that are a continuous improvement culture. It's the people in the organisation that bring the organisation to be high performing. It's the people in the organisation that learn, that help the organisation become successful. When we use measures that disengage people, it's just a waste of time. And with something like Pump, we can use performance measurement to engage people and to literally fire them up at work about focusing on their performance and how they can own it and how they can work on improving it. So I'm a Pump advocate, as you can probably tell. I've used it, it works, and it just changes how people engage with their work. So that's a few points for me in terms of Pump, and I hope you learn more about it. Thanks for watching.